Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I've been getting a lot of questions lately on how do I get my skin tone so natural when I shoot neon portraits. And I realize not a lot of people know this trick. I think it's because they think it's just more complicated than it should be. It's honestly just changing your white balance. Like that's all it is. So if you guys ever take neon shots and you find that it's a little too purple, or too pink, or there's like a color cast on it, what you should do is actually change your white balance. In today's video, I'm going to show you some examples of what I do and how I do it. This is something that you're going to have to train your eyes to get better at, and then in time you will pick it up right away and you are able to see what's going on in the image, and you can actually see these colors. Because when I started shooting neons, there were purple casts everywhere and I thought it looks good, and then there was red casts everywhere and I thought that looks good, and then I started looking at it and I started realizing, I'm like, well, why is my shots always so blue, so red? The subject does not separate from the scene. For all the beginners that are starting out new, like, you should watch this video and then, like, you know, see what I do. And it's pretty easy. You just gotta keep editing, keep seeing, keep picking up on these things with your eyes. Again, it's training your eyes. So for me anyways, I like to do things repeatedly. So for me, I think repetition is key. So the more I edit, the better I get, the quicker I develop my eye. And once you train your eye to see all these things, then it's just a simple sliding left right on the tint and the white balance to get it right. So let's go into the video and I'll show you what I mean. Here we are, we have 6 photos, and then we're gonna do this real quick. And then here we have Alyssa in the Neon Demon studio. In the studio, there's a lot of color casting. In order to get the right skin, like for me anyways, when I shoot neons, I always want my skin to look natural. The number one important thing about portrait is the skin tones. You're always going to have to keep it natural. If it looks too unnatural, like if it looks too purple or too red, then for me anyways, it could be an eyesore, it could look annoying, it could not look as good as it could be. We're gonna get started with this shot in particular. You notice that Alyssa is heavily in the magenta tones right here. She's casted in like purple, magenta, pink, and if you can see right here, that's where she lies. The tint is more on the magenta side. Okay, so everything is a balance. When you see that there is a purple cast right here, you should know that if it's magenta or purple on this side, in order to balance it out, you just take it to the left, and then you keep pulling it and pulling it and pulling, and then you're gonna start seeing like stuff like her colors come back. Her hair color is blonde here, so you're starting to see that come back. Now I'm just gonna stop right there because I think this is a good point to stop at. We got rid of almost all the purple magenta cast on her face, but now we still have some warmth in her face. Looking at the white balance, you see this side is the warmer side, right? And here she is still a little bit warm from the warm tones. So you see the orange, you see the yellowish. So what you're going to do is pull it back to cool it off, and this is when you're going to start seeing her like skin just come back naturally. And I think oops, that's too far. I think about right there. That looks normal to me. You can always adjust it, but we're gonna just keep playing around with it, and I think that looks normal to me. Right there, you got normal skin tones. And from here, once you balance out the skin tone, you can go in and then just be more creative. If you want a little bit more purple, you can move back, and then this is where you can start being more creative with your colors. And that's what I do. Once I nail down the skin tone, I I just see what I can do to it. If I want to add more blues, I'll just pull it all the way to the left, and there you have it. That's one down. We're gonna keep it going. So again, this next shot is with Alyssa at the Neon Demon Studio. You can see here, there's a lot of magenta tones in here. When you're looking at the tint, it's favoring the right side, so the magenta side right here. So what you want to do, again, is it's like a seesaw, okay? If one side is too heavy with the color, you want to balance it out with the other side. That's the metaphor that I come up with that makes sense to me. So hopefully I'm articulating this in a way that makes sense to you. This takes time to learn, and this takes time to develop your eye. When I started out, I did not know this. I did not see this. So you're gonna have to practice, and you're gonna have to a lot of bad pictures until you start developing that eye. Moving on. We are going to, again, we see a lot of magenta tones in this scene. We're just gonna dial it back. Push it till you see the skin tone balance out. And as you can see, right here should be good. You see that her skin right here is normal. This is what I find normal. And what we can do over here now is, we can cool it down some more. And this is where we can have a lot of fun, like, manipulating colors and stuff. Let's just raise our exposure a bit. Once you nail down the skin tone, you can go left or right and then decide what kind of colors you want. If you want to go really blue or really orange and get some reds in there, that's up to you. But that can only happen once you balance out that skin tone and remove that cast. We're gonna keep it moving. This shot right here, same thing. So in this scene, it's a little different from the magenta tones. This one, I feel that there's a lot of warmth, there's a lot of orange, and there's a lot of red. So again, everything's a balance. When there's too much orange, we're going to have to cool it. So this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna balance it out. And see, like right here, see this arm? That looks normal to me. Just forget about the face for now. And then you're gonna see this magenta cast on her face. We're just going to, again, everything's a balance. We see a lot of that magenta. We're going to, I think right here is where, to me, the skin tones looks normal. I get a lot of people in the Fujifilm Facebook group asking me how I get the skin tone so natural, and this is my answer. I just move the sliders around, and they think there is some sort of like magic answer that I can tell them, but yeah, I feel like an asshole giving them that answer, because I feel like that's not the answer they expected. They expected me to provide them with like some sort of like Photoshop technique or something, but again, it's just changing your white balance. Okay, so everything has a balance. Okay, when it's too orange of something, you want to, when it's too warm on the white balance, you want to cool it, and then that's when you're gonna see the skin tone comes out. And when something's too magenta, you balance it out. You give it a little green to balance it out, and then vice versa. In this shot, this is Taylor, by the way, a girl that I met like 2 weeks ago, right before the lockdown happened. I was shooting with my friend Ray, and we found some neons in Mississauga, which is pretty cool. So you can see here, there's like a heavy magenta cast on her face. So again, what do? We take it back. We keep going and going until you, at this point, I think right here is good, until we fix some things. You can see her hair is starting to look natural blonde, because that's what I remember her as. But again, I think for this shot, I think her face is a little too warm. So what do? When something's too warm, we cool it. And that's it. To me, that looks balanced. And from here, You can go whichever way you want. You can add more purple to get a cool purple look, or you can add some green, or again, make it blue, make it look trippy, sci-fi, whatever you want, after you learn how to balance, like remove that color cast. We're gonna keep it moving. And again, the reason why I show multiple pictures is because for me, this is how it works. When you repeat things, it just gets into your brain a lot faster. So I would like for you guys to do the same, okay? So keep editing, keep going through these photos, and keep repeating. Rinse and repeat. That's the only way you're gonna get better. That's how I learned. I did the same thing over and over again, and I got really obsessed with it. And from there, you just, again, start developing the eye, and that eye is what's gonna make your photos really good. Moving on to this picture, we see again too warm and a little bit of magenta, right? We see that. Do you guys see that? If not, that's okay. Again, it's developing your eye. I just hope that you see this. You see this purple, this sort of pinkish tone right here. Everything here is a little bit pink and orange right here. And well, what are we gonna do? We're gonna cool it because there's a lot of orange in here. Let's cool it. I think right here was fine. Okay, and then next, there's a little bit of pink right here. We can remove the purple, I'm sorry, magenta tones, magenta tint. So again, everything's like a seesaw, everything's like a balance. If there's too much of something, you gotta balance it out, okay? So there's too much magenta, we gotta balance it out with some green tint. Let's do it. And then you're gonna start seeing that her skin tone is coming back and becoming normal, and that's the base you would want to start at. Okay, so we're gonna keep playing with it until we get something good. And I think right here is where her skin tone looks normal, and from here, again, you can take it however way you want. You can make it blue, give it a more cool vibe, or you can actually, I think with this one, you can like make it look a little bit purple. Like that purple looks cool. It's not too much purple cast, and this is something that for me would be acceptable. That's it, guys. Hope you guys learned something today. I hope you know that removing color cast is really simple. You like something like this, if it can be done in around with the white balance and tint, you should always go for that route. Rinse and repeat, guys. Rinse and repeat. I hope you guys like this video. I'm gonna wrap it up here. My how to edit neon portraits and low light portraits is coming out in a couple of weeks, so make sure you subscribe to my channel. Next week, it's going to be tips on how you can shoot better neon portraits, and the week after that, I should have the tutorial on how I edit neon portraits. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you're coming from the Fujifilm Facebook group, let me know in the comments below, because I would love to kick it with you and shoot the shit with you guys. You guys are a cool bunch. And if you guys didn't find me on the Fujifilm Facebook group, let me know also, where did you find me? And if you found this video helpful or not helpful, please let me know, because I want to get better at making videos, and I could surely use the feedback. I could use the feedback, okay? Because like sometimes, I don't know, it seems like I'll be talking to myself too much. Yeah, that is it for me. My name is Tongue, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye. I love you. Armpit hair, no.